Hello, everybody. My name is Dustin Hartzler, and I am your website engineer. And I've got today a tutorial for you on how to set up a WordPress website from scratch. It's only 2 steps, basically, from start to finish, and I can have you set up and blogging in just a few moments. So if you could, this would be best to watch all the way through, just to watch it, to get a brief overview of what we're going to do, and then go back and watch it again, and then set up as you're watching it. I think that will be the best way to maximize this video. Okay, so in order to set up a self-hosted WordPress.org blog, you need to find some hosting. I personally recommend greengeeks.com as my hosting account. One of the reasons that I endorse greengeeks.com is because they have a great live chat. You get unlimited space, you get unlimited bandwidth, which is really good for web hosting accounts. You have unlimited email addresses, and the big one is you have unlimited MySQL databases. That's really crucial for WordPress installations because every WordPress installation takes a MySQL database. They also have great live chat. You click on this button and you get a little window that pops up and you can begin a live chat. I've had excellent success with the chat, and they've always been able to help me out and really give me the information that I needed or make the problem go away, whichever was needed. I use greengeeks.com. They have a great $4.95 per month special. That is actually if you do multiple years in a row. And so what we'll do is I'm going to talk you through exactly all you need to do here. It's a very simple process to register your domain name with your hosting account, and then I'll show you how to set up WordPress. So first, let's get started with ordering some Green Geeks hosting. What happens here is if you click Order Now, it will take you to a page that will ask you if you have a domain name already or if you need a domain name. So if you're starting right from scratch, you'll need a domain name. So I'm just going to type in Dustin Hartzler Demo. .com. I hope that's available. And then once you have your domain name, you put that in and you hit next. If you already have a domain name, you can put that information in and then hit next, and they will actually transfer all your existing domain name information to your Green Geeks account for free. So that's really helpful. So I'm going to click next here, and it looks like they haven't given me any red flags that Dustin Hartzler Demo is not taken, so we should be able to continue on with this process. So this is step number 2. What you need to do here is you input all your critical information, first name, last name, country, street address, city, state, zip, phone number, and email address. And then make sure that this is a valid email address because they will send you information that for all your registration and whatnot. And make sure that this is not something at dustinhartzlerdemosite.com or whatever your new web domain is. You want to put a different web domain that's not linked. That's what it says here. This is where the receipt will be sent. Recommended use off-network email. So that way you have correspondence. So in case your site does go down for some reason, they've got an additional email address to contact you with you. Okay. The next area is the package information. So as you can see, to get that $4.95 price and a free domain for life, you have to sign up for 3 years. So putting that in the calculator, that's like $178. So if you wanted to take almost a $200 plunge right here, you would get your most bang for your buck. If you wanted to go a little bit smaller than that, you could do the yearly plan. That's $7.95 times 12 months, and that's only going to cost you $95 out of pocket. If you just wanted to play around and see exactly if this is right for you, you could do a monthly plan. You get that for $14.95, and then there's a $15 setup fee. So then you're talking $30, and you can be up and running. You can play with it for a month. If you really don't like WordPress, or your business venture goes in a different route, or anything along those lines, you can go ahead and then just cancel the account. So you'd only be out $30, whereas, if you do one of these higher pricing plans, you might be out a little bit more. You might also have the ability to go ahead and cancel with them. If you chose, for instance, the yearly plan for $7.95 and you paid the $95, you might be able to cancel and say, hey, can you, after a month or two, can you just downgrade me to a month-to-month plan, and then they can credit your account. I think I've done that before just because I auto-renewed for 1 year and I didn't really know. So they're really good with that as well. Also, if you can find a coupon code, that would be great. If you just Google Green Geeks coupon code, you might find something out there. I know when I very first signed up, I found a 20% off coupon at retailmenot.com or something along those lines. So be sure to check that out. You can save yourself a little bit of cash. And then you fill in your billing information, so you would pay by credit card or pay by PayPal, and then type in the vital information here. I'm not going to go ahead and actually create an account because I already have some accounts that we can use to work through a demo, but there, if you click the create an account, it's going to go through and it's going to set up all your information. I think there is maybe a 24-hour to maybe 48-hour delay between the time that you've submitted all your things before your site is live, so you have to take that into consideration and to note. So if this is something that you're just starting for the very first time, you'll want to set everything up, and then you'll wait a day or two, and then I believe they'll send you an email, or within a day or two, you should be able to, you should have access to your cPanel account, and you should be able to see your website, at least something on your website when it goes live. So that is, that's the story about that. So now that you know how to, you picked your domain name, and then you've secured your hosting. So basically what you did is you paid for, with this step here, you paid for a spot on a server somewhere in the world that's going to host all your files, and then that server is connected to the network that can broadcast all your files out all over the world on your domain name. So that's what you just did right here. It's pretty simple. You have unlimited storage with this, so you can upload hundreds upon hundreds of files and stuff, and you'll never reach a limit. So okay, so now once this is done, I'm going to show you how to go log into your account. So we will leave this page, and we're going to go right back to greengeeks.com, and you can see that this is the same site that we started from. And then you'll go up here to the upper right hand corner and click on client login. So you'll type in your client login, and then here's the area where you type in your username and password. Let me see here. And since I'm logged in, you can click the login button, and it'll say logging you into cPanel, and then it'll come up here with the cPanel information. I'm going to give you a brief rundown of what all the different little sections here are all about in your cPanel, and then we're going to dive in and we're going to actually install WordPress. So we're getting to the exciting part. Here in the preference area, you have some information where you can watch video tutorials or use the Getting Started wizard. The Getting Started wizard is pretty much going to tell you kind of what I'm going to tell you right now. So if you want to, you're more than welcome to watch it and understand and learn and whatnot. So that's what these two things are. This is a change password to log into your cPanel. Green Geeks will send you what that password is. It's probably, I think it's a 10-digit or something like that, random numbers and letters and symbols and whatnot. So you might want to change your password right here so you can remember how to log in and get in. Also, if you ever change your address or you put somebody else in charge, you'll want to update your contact information. And these ones over here, I really don't deal with too often. In the mail settings, in email accounts, you can actually set up email accounts, and I'll work through that in a different tutorial in a different video. But there's where you can set up an email account, and here's how you can access those email accounts. That's really important. If you just started a brand new website, you can have like Dustin at dustinhartzlerdemo.com, which is really kind of neat because it looks way more professional. Because if you ever emailed anybody from any other company, most times that they have their email address at theircompanydomain.com. So you can be up there just with the big boys as well, and you can look as professional as everybody else. So that's kind of the area here that I use for mail, and then you can set up all kinds of different things with your mail, and you can have you can tell the server how much storage each mail account needs and do all kinds of things. It's pretty crazy, everything that you can do with the mail. Here's the file area, and you can see with the file manager, you can click on that and it will show you exactly what files are saved on your server in kind of a web type form or a web type style. Your FTP accounts, this will be the username and password information to use an FTP account. I'll get to that in another session as well. So that's what all this is. This is basically a way to manage getting your files up onto your server, which is what Green Geeks is all about. The logs area I don't use very often unless I'm running into some sort of problem. The error log is really helpful because it'll have information in there about different problems, or it tried to do this and couldn't, or this or that and the other thing. So I rarely use this, only if I'm having a problem. The security area, I really don't use that whatsoever at all. The domain area, this is where you would add a subdomain, which is like test.dustinhartzlerdemo.com, or anything along those lines. If you wanted a small, like, that's basically putting a folder, but putting the folder in front of your web domain. Also, the add-on domains is if you wanted to host more than one website on the same hosting package, which you're allowed to. I actually have, I think, 6 or 7 different domain names that are associated with this one account. You click on there and you can go through and you can add different domains, and you can add domains that you've purchased from GoDaddy or different places like Hover or anywhere else. So that's what this area is for. And then the rest of it kind of does redirects if you don't want a new site. If you have a new site but you want it to go to an old site or anything like that, that's what that's for. The database section is the bread and butter of where the WordPress information is stored. I say this with great just be sure that you're very, very careful when you're using this type of information, because you can wreck your site very, very easily, and you really need to know what you're doing. This used to be to do the database. You used to actually have to physically set up a database and configure it and make sure it was encrypted and everything else to set up a WordPress site. Now it's much, much easier. And if you ever need to change any of the records in your database for any reason, PHP MyAdmin is where you need to go for that. I'm going to skip over the software services because that's where we're going to end up. Go down here to the advanced real quick. And I really don't use a lot of things down in here. There's different things. I think the index manager helps you designate which file will be your home page and stuff like that. Really not needed unless you're trying to do something extra special. And then here, back up in the software and services area, this is where we're going to live. This is going to be what we do to install our new WordPress software. So what we're going to do is click on Softalicious. I think that's how you say it, but this is actually the coolest part about using greengeeks.com. You click on that, and as we wait, it's going to go over here and it's going to come in, and it's got all kinds of PHP JavaScripts that it will use to install WordPress, or you can do OpenBlog, you can do Pixie. There's all kinds of things that you can install on your server, and so that's not what we that's what we actually want to do, because it will save us so much time and effort. So we're going to go to the WordPress area and click on WordPress. It's underneath blogs. If that's not appearing, click on this down arrow and it'll open up this whole section. And then it tells you a little bit about WordPress and how it's a state-of-the-art publishing platform with, it focuses on aesthetics, web standards, and usability. It's free and priceless at the same time, so that's really cool. If you have other down here is some of my other installations of WordPress that I have on different websites and whatnot. And so it's telling me that some of them are out of date, and some of them in the last time, or like when they were installed. So that's really cool. If you click here, you're in the overview tab right now. If you click on the install tab, you can go through here, and we're actually going to set up your WordPress website. So first off, I leave this box checked the way it is. This basically means if anybody will type in your site without the wwws, it will come to your site. If you choose this one, that means they will have to click www. I know a lot of times I don't do a second thought about www. I just don't do it. It's not worth the time. And so we will move on from there. I'm going to put this in the it's called demo.yourwebsiteengineer.com. So we're going to plug that in there. You're going to put this in the root directory. If you wanted a custom installation, you could put it wherever you really needed it, but I like putting mine in the root directory, so go ahead and remove the WP from right there. The next category, the database name, that's automatically generated by Softalicious, and you just always leave that the same. What happens there is it just goes out and it will pick up a number and make sure that it's not a duplicate number. This database name means nothing whatsoever, so don't worry about that. The table prefix is you don't need to worry about that either, because that's just going to be what all the files are prefixed as. So that's pretty simple to leave that the same. And then we'll change the site name. We're just going to call this demo site. And then my WordPress blog, I'm just going to say just a demo WordPress blog. What happens here is what you'll probably want to do is put you'll want to put whatever your URL or whatever your main site title is right here. You can always change this later, but you just want to go ahead and put that in there now. You want to put in whatever your tagline is for your website. So my tagline is just a demo WordPress blog. That's pretty simple. This is just just a tutorial to show you how to set it up. This site's really not going to do anything but be a tutorial. Now you go down to the admin username and password, and you'll want to change this one that says admin to anything but admin. Admin is the default, and so a lot of people just keep it as the default, and so that makes it a lot easier for hackers for them to get into the site, because they don't have, now they only have to guess a password instead of a username and password. So we're going to go ahead and change this to demo. It's different. I recommend probably more of an 8-letter character, 8-character type username, but whatever you feel is fit is fine, as long as it's not admin. And then I'm going to go ahead and change the password as well. So now I've got a password, and then make sure that you have an admin email address here. So I'll just put my email address in here. And make sure that you are using an email address that you actually can get email from, because if you don't, then you won't be able to get the vital information from your WordPress installation. It's going to send you all kinds of information once it sets up the account. So you want to make sure that is a good, valid user or email address. You can also email your details to another account in case you think you might lose it or something along those lines. That wouldn't be a bad idea as well. So then you go ahead and click install, and it's going to do its thing here, and it'll just take a few seconds, and it will be completely installed. And there you go. Congratulations. Your software was installed successfully. That wasn't too painful now, was it? It was actually pretty easy. So what happens now is if you go to, this is the demo.yourwebsiteengineer.com. That is the demo site. So we'll go over here and we'll check out what our new WordPress installation looks like. And it looks like this. This is the default 2010 theme that is installed with every version of WordPress. And, this is what it looks like. It's very, very simple. There's not a lot of every WordPress website, I guess, will look like this the moment that it's installed. So that's what it looks like. And then it also gives you the administrative URL. So if you go ahead and go here, I'll open that in a new tab as well so we can still look at this. You can go here, and this is what every login screen looks like as you first install. So we'll go ahead and try to remember what my username and password is and see if I can log in and show you what the dashboard looks like. I do not want to save this. Here is the dashboard for your WordPress website. You've got all kinds of information going on here on the dashboard. You can see over here it shows you all your content. So it tells you how many posts that you have, how many pages, and how many categories and how many tags you have. These will all be described in a later session, but those are what each of those stand for. And then over here is the discussion area. So this means that there's one comment, it's been approved, there's 0 pending comments, and there's 0 spam. So that just kind of gives you a brief breakdown. When you're looking at your site, you can see exactly what all's going on there. You can see recent comments right here. You have different plugins down here. Here's information from WordPress itself. You know, they're talking about the 3.1 release, and they're just the 3.0.4 is an important security update that was released on December 29th, 2010. And then if you had to, if you wanted to upload a blog super duper quick, you could do that all from right here. So that's what this area of the site is. Here you can do some updates. It'll tell you a little bit about if there's any plugins or anything that need to be updated. There's actually one plugin that needs to be updated as part of the installation package. The middle bank of links here, the post, the media, the links, the pages, and the comments, those are all ways that you will add content to your site. So post is to add a blog post. Media is what it sounds like. It's video or movies or pictures or stuff like that. Links are different links to your site. Pages are like the different pages of your website, and comments are, of course, comments that people have left on your site. So this is where your content is, and then this area here is your this is like all your settings and your modifications, and these are all the things that you'll use to tweak different parts of your site. So it's broken down into 3 different areas. Like this is your dashboard. This is kind of gives you a tabs on everything that you need to know about WordPress. Here gives you areas to create new content or make posts or, you know, put things out on your website. And here's how to keep your site up to date or do all the kind of tweaks. So there it is. That's your website. So here's what it looks like this. And here's what your website looks like from the dashboard side of things. There's lots and lots of things that I can go over and talk about in all of these different areas, but that's all that I've got right now for this tutorial right now. Stay tuned for more parts.